Hello, welcome to this edition of the Coal Scene. I'm Chris Hamilton, and I'll be your host for this program. Joining me today, I'm extremely pleased to have C.A. Phillips, who is the Director of the West Virginia Office of Miners Health, Safety, and Training. We're going to be talking generally about mine health and safety, some of the improvements that have been made over the past several decades, actually. We're going to be talking about some of the things that we can do to make even greater improvements with our mine health and safety record. We're also going to be talking some about a new mine emergency vehicle that was unveiled and announced by Governor Tomlin about 3 weeks ago here at the state capitol. So CA, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, Chris, for inviting me.
I'm glad you've been able to take time from your busy schedule, and I know you maintain probably a schedule that's as hectic, every bit as hectic as the governor's in your day-to-day activities, and we're just awful glad you've been able to take the time to join us here today.
Again, thank you for having me, Chris.
Why don't we, for the purposes of some of our viewers, some of the people watching who may not be familiar with the West Virginia Office of Miners Health, Safety, and Training, used to be the old Department of Mines several years ago. Why don't we start out by just talking a little bit about the office and its responsibilities?
Chris, we're a relatively small agency. We employ approximately 126 employees. We have 52 underground mine inspectors, 15 electrical inspectors, 13 safety instructors, 13 administrative staff and clerical workers in our Charleston office, along with 2 attorneys. And in each regional office, we have 2 clerical workers per region. The regional offices are located, Region 1, of course, is in Westover, which is our Morgantown area. Region 2 is in Welch. Region 3 is in Danville, and Region 4 is in Oak Hill. We also maintain mine rescue teams in each one of those regional offices. And the folks who participate on the mine rescue teams and are team members are our underground inspectors, our safety instructors, and electrical inspectors, who these are the folks that man the teams in the regional offices. So
your guys do a little bit of everything. They train miners, they inspect mines, they also staff mine rescue teams. So generally, they're involved with most aspects of mining.
Yes, Chris. Our main mandate, of course, is for our underground inspectors to make 4 inspections a year. And our electrical inspectors are required to make 1 inspection per year at all the operations throughout the state. Our surface inspectors are mandated to make 2 inspections at their operations. Our safety instructors work hand in hand with the 40 and 80-hour instructors across the state. These folks spend a lot of time with our apprentice miners, and they administer the examination for the apprentice miners, and also, like I said previously, they work with the 40 and 80-hour instructors all over the state.
I know just from my experience, when you say that the inspectors will visit all of our state mines, the underground mines, 4 times a year. I know a lot of people think that that's 1 day a quarter, and I know that's very far from what actually occurs in reality out there.
Yes, we have a variety in the size of mines in the state of West Virginia. Our larger mines, recently we've assigned 2 inspectors to our larger mines just because of the amount of territory these guys have to cover. So yes, it's not just 1 day to do their inspection. It takes several days to complete their inspections at these larger operations.
And maybe many days. I mean, it may take the
Absolutely.
entire quarter
Yes, it
to
does.
complete the inspection during that one period. And
That's correct.
and, you know, I know I look at statistics a lot in mining, mine safety, and there are some mines in the state that when you add the state and then federal inspectors, you know, they average 2, 3, as many as 4 inspectors every day that mine's open during a quarter or even during a year.
Yes. Some of our operations in northern West Virginia, of course, Chris, you're familiar with those operations. There's just miles and miles of belt lines that have to be inspected, and our guys have to make those belt lines. It's just as important to make the belt lines as it is to make the faces. And like you say, it takes more than one shift to get those completed.
Well, and there's belt lines, there's tracks, there's a lot of the old air courses that still have to be walked, and you know, have to look for dangerous conditions, make sure the air quality and quantity, you know, is traveling through the area.
Right.
Reflecting back, you know, when you and I have been in the business a long time, we were chatting beforehand, and we've seen a lot of change. And when you look over the span of 25, 30 years, there's been a lot of improvement, a lot of positive changes in the industry. I'm also aware, and just want to chat briefly about some of the changes here that's been made over the past couple of years, particularly as it relates to the post-accident phase of incidents, you know, the mine emergency operations, the mine rescue training that most miners have experienced here over the past couple of years. I know we've had the Federal Miner Act passed following a major accident in 2006, and we've had a couple of legislative acts here in West Virginia that have set forth new requirements.
Yes. 2006, Chris, who will ever forget that year? Sago occurred, Aracoma occurred. From these accidents we learn, and oftentimes it's sad that it takes an accident for us to learn that we need to do things differently, and we did. As an agency, we all worked together. The West Virginia Technology Task Force, those guys busted themselves in coming up with new technology and things that we need to do to make things safer in our coal mines. First thing comes to mind is the self-contained self-rescuers and the work that they've done on it. The communication and tracking, the refuge shelters that we now have underground in case of an emergency. These are items that were worked on with the help of the industry and labor and our West Virginia Technology Task Force. Those individuals done an outstanding job and continue to do an outstanding job. We're lucky to have them here in the state of West Virginia.
I know you were very much engaged personally. I was involved, our organizations were involved, and that's one of the things that I recall reflecting back is how much cooperation. It just seemed like there was an unprecedented level of everyone working together, looking for solutions, and I think there's been a lot of improvement made. There's no question about that.
Yes, actually, Chris, from the 2006 event come about the West Virginia Technology Task Force.
Right.
It was developed through legislation, and like I say, the individuals that are on that particular task force take their jobs very seriously, and we're happy to have them.
And one of the things you mentioned that I'd like to focus a little bit of attention on, we've made a lot of improvements here just within the past couple of years with respect to mine emergency operations and mine rescue operations. It seems like everyone has gone through additional, very comprehensive training. I know we've increased the number of mine rescue teams that we have in the state of West Virginia. As you indicated, the state of West Virginia has now a couple of very well-staffed mine rescue teams with mining professionals, ready who stand ready to respond to a mine accident.
Yeah. a lot of people didn't realize that on the day that the most recent event occurred, which was UBB on April the 5th, our entire team was actually in a training session near Logan, West Virginia on the day of that event. And immediately upon getting the call, we left the facility there in Logan and departed for UBB.
I know we often praise working miners for their skill level, and that's all very well deserved. You know, the men and women who work in the mine and how much experience and qualification they have. But we all need to be very thankful for the members of mine rescue teams who you know, put themselves at risk while they are attempting to you know, lend support and save, actually rescue a fallen miner. I mean, those are, you know, I heard someone recently coined the phrase as our special forces.
Absolutely.
And that certainly fits those individuals, you know, the men and women that make up the mine rescue teams.
I think I was present the day you mentioned that, Chris, Special Forces, and I'm proud of the fact that you recognized them that way, because to me they are. These guys give up a lot to participate on our mine rescue teams, and they are definitely the best of the crop.
Well, on that day, and you know, that's one of the things we wanted to talk about and also shed some light on here today, because it was a special event at the Capitol 3 weeks ago now, maybe close to a month, when Governor Tomlin announced and had a ceremony to unveil the new mine rescue vehicle, which will be used by the state in the event we have you know, a situation that necessitates its need here at some point in time in the future. And as I understand it, it's a true one-of-a-kind, state-of-the-art mine emergency vehicle, which can be quickly dispatched to an emergency situation, and also be relied upon by everyone involved. And hopefully it enhances the state's capabilities with respect to mine rescue work.
Chris, I definitely feel that this truck will actually help us to better make decisions when it comes to an event such as a UBB or a SAGO. We have the technology now that we never had before with this particular truck, and we're just tickled to death to have it, and hope and pray to God that we never have to use it.
Absolutely. I mean, we all wish we wouldn't, we won't have another occasion where,
Yes,
where we have to call on our mine rescue teams, but we have to maintain them in a state of readiness at all times. And I understand that this vehicle will again help enhance the state's capabilities of responding to those type of accidents. Can you describe some of the features of the truck that maybe are new or unique?
Number one, Chris, satellite communications. We had satellite communications, but nothing as great as this. I mean, this particular technology is the latest and the greatest, and we're tickled to death to have it. We could talk to any location in the world, and like I say, I hope we never have to use it, but it's there if we need to. Also on the truck, there's a barometer on the truck, and that barometer would come in handy for us whenever we're at an event, because it tells you what's going on as far as the weather. You get a rise or the barometer drops, you need to know about that, because it will affect methane in behind the seals, and that could cause us to have to make a crucial decision, and with that help we'll be able to make those type of decisions. The mast itself on the truck is a 40 foot mast, and that particular mast has a camera on it with lighting that would light up the whole area around the truck. We could actually hold meetings or briefings outside the truck. We have the computer set up on the outside to where we could go over exactly what's going on underground. In the event that communications and tracking was still intact in that particular operations on one of the computers inside the truck, we can connect to that system and be able to see what's going on. But in a case such as UBB with so much destruction, the communication and tracking was not working.
So no matter where we might be in in West Virginia, and in some of the mountainous areas or remote areas where cell phones don't work and where you can't get a link for your computer or can't get the web, this truck will be able to provide those communications.
Yes, it will, Chris. That's one of the great things about the truck is the technology's there for us to be able to do that. And we have a command type center that is in one end of the truck where we can sit around the table and discuss the issues that are going on underground and help us to make decisions as to what we need to do. We have conference call capability within that truck where we can sit down if we need to talk to the governor, if we need to talk to yourself or Bill Rainey, we can do that right from the truck.
That was one of the things I noted when I briefly toured the inside of the truck itself. It does appear that it's designed so that it can serve as a command center. I mean, a full command center, complete with the computers, and understand there's a real sophisticated atmospheric and gas monitoring system that's being installed on the vehicle.
Yes, correct. That's the gas chromatograph, and it would be the first time that the state of West Virginia would ever be doing gas analysis themselves. And that's part of the training that we intend to do as far as our mine rescue team members, and with the help of the Southern West Virginia Community College, provide us with an individual who can act as the chemist and do the analysis work as far as samples as we bring them out from underground, and try and determine exactly what we got as far as a mine fire or the type of gases that's being exposed to the mine rescue teams.
You mentioned Southern West Virginia Community College.
Yes.
And they are your southern partner, just as West Virginia University is your northern partner.
Yes.
With respect to a lot of training and smoke simulations and things like that that our miners and mine rescue members go through on a regular basis. But Southern, I understand this vehicle will be physically housed at Southern, where they have had a mine rescue unit stationed there as well.
Yes, the truck will be stationed at Southern. Chris, and you mentioned, the northern facility, and of course up there we have Jim Dean, and we're real proud of the work that Jim does up at West Virginia University Extension Service in training the miners, just as Carl Baston does at the Southern West Virginia Community College.
I tell you, both do just an extraordinary job. I've been at both facilities, and there's a lot of diversity going on, a lot of different types of training, and both facilities are training our next generation of miners.
Yes, they are.
We're going to turn and view the video from the governor's press conference of 3 weeks ago. If you recall, he had a press conference at the state capitol. He brought in the vehicle, brought in the most interested partners with respect to mine safety, and I think it was an extraordinary day. Why don't we watch the video, and then we can recap.
Sounds good.
Because of their sacrifice, let us pause now for a moment of silence and remember those lives that have been lost in West Virginia. Thank you. Let me also take this moment to acknowledge that we're joined today by representatives from our congressional delegation, as well as members of the coal industry and the United Mine Workers of America, and thank you for joining us here today. This day humbles me, while it gives me great cause for pride and hope. This is because today marks the introduction of a development in mine safety and mine rescue operations. And I want all the families to know that it is because of you that we're here today. Your caring concern for the mining community has brought us to this moment. Because you ask us to do everything that we could to keep your loss from becoming someone else's loss. It will soon be 1 year ago that 29 families received news that no mining family ever wants to hear. Our state, our nation, and the world watched as mine rescue turned into mine recovery. And the rescue team told us the heartbreaking news that all 29 miners trapped inside the upper Big Branch mine had perished. And 29 UBB families had to cope with the realization that their loved ones would not be coming home. Nearly a year ago has passed, and the emotions are still raw, still so near to the surface for everyone involved. In the days following one of our darkest hours, family members began to make one request, a simple request, but a challenging one. They simply said, "Don't let this happen again to another family." And while our miners' safety regulators and inspectors continue to do their utmost to fulfill that request, we also ask them to look at new ways and methods to advance our ability to keep our miners safe. As a result, I'm proud to say that we now have a one-of-a-kind piece of equipment, a new technology to assist us with that effort. Today, the Command Unit Rapid Response Task Force 1 mine rescue vehicle is ready, should the call for help come again. This new mine rescue truck gives us the added abilities of multiple levels. Among its many features, we will now be able to hear and see what we could not do before. This truck has the capability to inform us of lightning and bad weather up to 300 miles away. This is particularly important because lightning has been cited as a contributing factor in past mine tragedies in West Virginia. The mine rescue truck can also rapidly read and analyze gas levels for faster assessment of conditions inside the mine. These are just few of the benefits that we will obtain with this new tool. I will never forget being at UBB. I will never forget the frustration that I saw on the faces of many family members as the mine rescuers had to deal with obstacle after obstacle in their rescue efforts. This mine rescue truck will greatly improve our ability to overcome these limitations and obstacles. It has state-of-the-art tools to complete rapid sampling testing in addition to having 2 portable labs inside. Having the testing ability on site with immediate results can cut down on wasting precious rescue time. During a rescue, mine experts have challenge of translating underground maps into surface terrain. This makes finding the best location to drill a borehole difficult. The mine rescue truck has the survey tools to completely change that. With satellite GPS technology on board, mine mapping, borehole locating, and gas well detection will be made much easier. This will help rescue efforts move even more quickly. Mine rescue operations take the coordination of multiple state and federal agencies, working in conjunction with the mining companies. This truck will now allow all involved agencies to effectively communicate. Better communication means faster responses and assist in arriving at decisions sooner. With multiple up-to-date workstations, military-grade satellite communication tools, and numerous multi-agency capabilities, work productivities will be greatly enhanced. While having this tool cannot undo the loss of our miners, it is my hope that the families of UBB and all mining disasters, as well as families who still have loved ones working in the mining industry, are able to find some satisfaction in our new ability to help save lives. The mission of the mine rescue truck is to be used proactively before an accident happens. It has the capability to perform mine site evaluations and develop baseline gas and atmosphere readings. This information will be provided to the Office of Miners' Health, Safety, and Training, so corrective action can be taken before an accident happens. West Virginia has suffered heartache, but out of that heartache, we have forged a new tool to improve the safety of our miners in West Virginia. No other state and no other country has this vehicle and its capabilities. This truck will be able to assist with any state or national emergency. The Mine Rescue Task Force 1 from Southern West Virginia Community and Technical College and experts like Carl Baisden stand ready to deploy and operate this vehicle whenever and wherever it is needed. While we most certainly would prefer not to make that call, it is comforting to know that the new and improved help will arrive when needed.
CA, this certainly was an excellent day, and the vehicle will make a nice addition to our existing mine rescue resources. Mine safety, like a lot of things, has to be worked on every single day, and everyone must maintain that supreme vigilance around the clock.
Yes, they do, Chris. In 2010, our state, we lost 35 hard-working coal miners. Of course, 29 in the worst mining disaster in 40 years there at UBB, and 6 individual accidents. We need to all work together to try and prevent these accidents, because we all know that all of them could have been prevented.
Well, we thank you so much for taking the time to join with us today. We appreciate the job that you do and that your agency does, and we pledge our full support to work continuously towards our shared goal of 0 accidents. So thanks so much for coming.
Yes.
And thank you for watching our show. We hope that you found it to be very informative today. With that, we'll say goodbye until our next episode, and thanks for tuning in to the Library Channel.